So there was a new leak for the new champ Renata, the Dark Enchanter support. Here's her classic skin, and here's a release skin, and here are the abilities. We'll quickly go over them. Passive leverage. Renata's basic attacks mark enemies and deal extra damage. Allied attacks consume the mark and deal extra damage, kind of like a built-in Imperial Mandate. Q, Handshake. Renata fires a missile from her robotic arm and immobilizes the first enemy hit. She can then reactivate the ability to knock back the enemy in a direction of her choice. So more like Swain E, as if it had, I assume, a Talia W, where you can knock back the person in the direction that you want. Pretty interesting. The W Bailout increases the movement speed and attack speed of Renata and an allied champion. If the allied champion gets a takedown, the duration of the buff is refreshed. If the allied champion dies, they will be revived. I heard that this one isn't fully fleshed out, but people said that they would be revived for a temporary amount of time, kind of like Chemtech Soul. But that if they got the kill, they get fully revived. But this is all leaks, so a lot of this is kind of jumbled up. Her E is Loyalty Program. Renata fires several missiles that shield allies, deal damage, and slow enemies. The missiles can be used as an AoE around her, or charged into a missile with an explosion at max range with the same effect. That sounds really interesting as well, and just kind of crazy. Her R is Hostile Takeover. Renata sends a cloud of chemicals that induce enemies in a frenzy. All enemies hit will have their attack speed increased, but will be forced to attack everything around them, including their own allied champions, neutral camps, Renata's allies, and dead Renata. But overall, it's very interesting, and I wouldn't say OP, obviously, since this kit could be wrong, since it is a leak. We have to take it with a grain of salt, and some of this translation is a little messed up. But this is a very interesting champion. I'm excited to see it with some very cool and interesting mechanics. I don't know how the R would work. That sounds really weird, so I definitely want to see how it is. And I expect this champ to be on PBE early tomorrow morning at probably the latest.